Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. How are we? Chapman, hi.
Sorry, that just you know, he's just cute. Sometimes even I can't get over it.
He's so adorable. We love
He's
it.
pretty damn adorable. This guy, pretty
We
big
can
guys.
never get enough pets.
Loves licking the nose. I was saying, whenever he kicks the bucket, man, licking my nose and having me scratch his belly, those are gonna be the two things I miss so much.
No.
But we get him right now, so there's gonna be plenty of that. In fact, there's gonna be a lot of that while Heather is talking over all the cool stuff about
Fantastic.
the rules and all the goody stuff.
Yeah, great. Good transition, Doug. Thanks.
Thank you,
Wow.
thank you.
All right, but yeah, I'm going to go over the rules here so that we can get to these questions because I know we missed last week because Doug's voice was gone, unfortunately.
What's going? Yeah.
Yeah.
We did the member stream the night before. Hey, you could hear it, Heather. You could hear it starting to go. I'm like, uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I see that we've got a lot of questions here. So let us go over the rules so we can get to them. First and foremost, we give priority to the bit messages and super chats since that is some real world money spent. Towards the end of stream, we try to get to some highlighted questions on Twitch or just regular chat questions on YouTube or whatever. But please save those questions until the end of stream, towards the end of stream. Because if you repeat them now and you repeat yourself over and over and over again in chat, you get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously do it. So please do not repeat yourself. Please watch the length of your questions. The longer it is, the faster I have to read it, the more likely it is that we're going to miss something and we do not have time to repeat it or figure out what you are trying to say. Along those same lines, if you absolutely must use multiple parts in your comment or question, keep it to 3 absolute maximum. Again, we tend to lose the point and we don't have time to figure out how part 12 relates to part 5 and all that jazz. So 3 absolute max, please. Along those same lines, please keep it to 1 question per bit message or super chat. We have like over 100 people in the combined chats here who would like to ask a question. So it just doesn't feel fair if you get to ask 3 in 1 and some people haven't even had a chance to ask 1. So keep it to 1 question per bit message or super chat, please. On the YouTube side of things, we prioritize super chats that are $5 and over because we have such a large volume of questions that are coming in. It's just a way that we can prioritize and still be able to get to those non-paid questions. I swear, chat, we are trying to do that. Okay? We are. If we have time, we'll go back and look at the ones that were less than $5, but we do prioritize $5 and over. Also on the YouTube side of things, you'll notice that sometimes your question unpins from the chat. You don't need to repeat it. We do have a list. It is very, very rare that we miss a question. More likely than not, you're just in the queue. We've been live for almost 10 minutes here and we haven't even started reading the questions. So just know there's a list. Sometimes it can take up to an hour or more to get to it. So just have patience. That's probably what the issue is, not that we missed it, okay? Please no spoilers. Not everyone has had a chance to see the latest and greatest whatever there is out there. I don't know what there really is to spoil out there right now, but
it's definitely not How to Train Your Dragon.
Definitely not How to Train Your Dragon. I didn't see it yet, but I've heard.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. If you saw the original, you've seen it.
Yeah. I heard there's a couple of things that it kind of expounded on or whatever.
There are. There's 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But you basically seen it.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. No swearing, Doug. I feel like I've missed something, but I can't think of it.
I don't know. I think we got it. I think we good.
Okay, great, awesome. Well then, let's get to it. Treg, thank you for the 500 bits. Hi, Doug and Heather. This question is for both of you. Which series do you prefer and why? Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul? I just finished both shows and I like BCS a lot more. This is because I didn't get into any of the main leads in BB, but I love the exploration of characters in BCS. My only issue with BCS is I could have used more comedy.
That's my exact thought. It's like, bit for bit. I thought Better Call Saul had a fair amount of comedy, but
I still haven't watched Better Call Saul. I need to just watch Better Call Saul.
It is slower than Breaking Bad. You could argue not not as much stuff happens in that one, but the people are just so damn interesting. And yeah, that was my issue. Breaking Bad, a phenomenal show. It's probably a better made show than Better Call Saul, but I just don't get into the people, and I know that's the idea. I don't get into it until the people from Better Call Saul are in it. Saul and Michael and Gus, those are the people I really got into. I don't like Walter White. I don't like the family. I don't like the cop chasing him down. I don't really like any of them, even though I know that's kind of the point. But it is a good character study. It's very well done. Better Call Saul is a little bit more the leads that I enjoy in a series.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of the teaser trailer for Spaceballs 2? Apparently, Rick Moranis is coming out of retirement to play Dark Helmet again.
Yeah, that's interesting. I hope, because I've always had I was almost going to do a fan script chat, just didn't have the time of what Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money would be. And I had a parody of the sequel trilogy and the prequels. Like I had it where they travel back in time to the past when, Helmet's a little helmet. And they try to alter the past, and it's actually like a parody of how Lucas would go back and change things, like how it looks, like the CG and the editing and stuff like that. And then of course you can make fun of the sequel trilogy on top of that very easily. So I like to see them do that. They can find a way through that to make fun of both the prequels and the sequel trilogy. I think that'll be pretty fun. And that little tease, I don't know, announcement, I guess, was pretty funny with the scroll. Because it's not only naming everything, it's the funny way that they're putting it and laying it out. I thought that was very funny.
Treg, thank you for the 500 bits. Which Looney Tunes director do you love more and why? Bob Clampett or Chuck Jones? I love Clampett for his zany creativity, but I feel like Jones' work was more experimental, character-driven, and more intellectual.
I say actually Bob Clampett's probably more experimental. Everything else I agree. I think and you can't get more opposite ends of the spectrum, right, with them. I mean, they're just very, very different. But they're both wonderful. I do like Chuck Jones more. I was pretty obsessed with him growing up. Those are the cartoons I watched the most. But under that, yeah, probably Clampett was my favorite. Because he's the exact opposite. He's zany, loony, goofy. I mean, it's just like the crazy slapstick and over the top, in your face over here. Like, it's a fun one to slow down and see just the weird rubber stretchiness of those characters and the expressions and how big the eyes will get in like just one frame. So yeah, where Chuck Jones, like you said, very sophisticated, very much, about the form and how, elegantly a character can move and the little nuances, the little subtlety in them raising an eyebrow. So I mean, complete opposite. But yeah, I do like Chuck Jones a little bit more. It's just a bit more my style. But man, Clampett's pretty great.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. How is Walter single? He's not. I've got news for you. He's a great guy. He's got a great gal.
Did you see in the Blues Brothers video today? He's married to Jim. Come on.
Treg, thank you for the 500 bits. Is there a movie theater experience that always stuck with you? Mine was when I saw Killers of the Flower Moon and we had someone in the audience who had a heart attack. Everyone in the theater, which was pretty packed, came to help him. It was a nice reminder that while a piece of media likes to play up our faults, a real life experience shows that people's first instincts is to show genuine kindness.
I mean, both are true. There's been experiments done on this, and both are true. People can do terrible things; they can do wonderful things. Nothing quite like that, but no, I do. I've actually toyed with the idea of doing a video about my favorite theater experiences, and a lot of them are really just crowd reactions, and whether it's a really good movie or a really bad movie. And yeah, probably the movie I saw the most in theaters was Jurassic Park. And I'm trying to think how many times it was. Was 11? Is there 11 or 13? Something like that. Because there's always somebody who hadn't seen it yet. And I was like, well, we got to go. We got to go. I would just always be the one to take, someone to go see Jurassic Park. And after a while, I just stopped watching the screen. I would turn around and watch the audience at certain moments because I loved seeing their reactions because they just hadn't seen effects like that before, especially whenever the raptor would try and get the girl's leg in the vent and just miss. I loved watching everyone just go like that because nobody ever seen anything get that close before in film, and we weren't used to CG yet, so I loved watching people's reaction to that. But one of these days, I might do a video on it.
Jimmy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Rank these 80s diva icons, but by whatever metric that you choose. Whitney Houston, Madonna, Janet Jackson, Tina Turner, and Paula Abdul.
Oh man, Whitney Houston would be first. Madonna, Janet Jackson, Paula Abdul. Who was the other one?
Tina Turner.
Oh, Tina Turner. Then Paula Abdul, Janet Jackson, Madonna.
Okay. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. It has sadly been confirmed that there will not be a Transformers 1 sequel due to the poor box office returns. I'm bummed, but at least we got one good movie.
Yeah, I don't know. When Rob and I reviewed it, we were saying, because we know it didn't do that great at the box office, I think you can do like a sequel on like Paramount Plus or something like that, because it doesn't. They threw so much money at it. And I don't think you need that much money, honestly. Like the details in the backgrounds were so cool and so great, but it's like it's not needed, really. So I think you can still do something with it. Just cut the budget down by a lot, and like I said, make it like a Paramount Plus thing. I get the feeling if you do Paramount Plus, you could get some people tuning into that because I do know the first one really has a following. And oh, sorry, my friend. Oh, I'm so excited for that. Just texted me. They're doing Looney Tunes. Speaking of Looney Tunes, at Music Box, July 12th. I'm sorry. I'm so excited for this. I have to write that down.
You gotta go write it down right now.
Yeah, I have to make sure my schedule is. Oh no! I got a convention. It's a convention in Chicago though, so maybe I can make it work.
Maybe you can. Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. Even though I agree with most of your criticisms about Oz the Great and Powerful, I'm glad you showed praise for the China Girl character. Joey King deserves a lot of credit for giving such a sweet, funny, and genuine performance.
Yeah, and I want to say I just read the Oz books, but that isn't true. I read the graphic novels, which are very good. Sky Young did the drawings for it very good. And you can tell it's stuff from the book, the dialogue and stuff like that. And that really feels like that's in like the vein of that world and just the even setup of that world. Because there's so many things. All these people are made of paper. And in this world, all of them are made of sand. I like there's stuff like that all over the place. So, and putting her like back together and stuff like that, that just feels like something that would be out of that world. And I'm still here. I'm just letting Chaplin know.
Okay. Porcupines Are God, thank you for the 500 bits. I missed last stream because I was busy seeing Wicked in theaters at the trailer premiere screening. It was amazing. What do you think of the trailer? I think For Good will be better than the musical second half since they will have at least 2 hours of runtime instead of 1 and potentially a PG-13 rating.
Yeah, I guess the first one wasn't PG-13. Like everything's PG-13, so I was kind of surprised at that. That's the one I'm looking forward to a little bit more. I like when things go dark, there's more conflict. I can't wait to see No Good Deed Goes Unpunished. That's probably my favorite song in the whole thing. I'm excited to see what they do with it.
Treg, thank you for the 500 bits. Have either of you seen Robot Dreams? And if so, what do you think? For me, it's one of my new favorites and a September 21st tradition. I think both of you would like it. I gotta see it. I like the graphic novel for Robot Dreams. I gotta see it.
I think somebody recommended this to me, but is it a film? Is that what it is?
There is a movie that was made like a couple of years ago, I believe, but there is a graphic novel as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with it. I will check it out. Looks good.
Maggie, thank you for the $5 super chat. Stop making me feel old with these movies. Now review Vampires Suck and we'll call it even.
Yeah, it's funny. I was just gonna do the ones that have like movie in the title, but like a lot of the comments are saying, what's he gonna do? Vampires Suck. So I guess it's gotta be one on the list, I guess. So thanks for adding even more to the library I gotta go through.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on the movies Say Anything and Almost Famous?
Almost Famous, I gotta see again. I remember liking it fine. I just didn't quite see the obsession over it, but maybe I'll understand more now. Say Anything is really good. Not at all what I was expecting. I really thought, like you see from the advertising, him holding the stereo and everything, it was going to be about this boy and this girl, but it's really not. It's about the girl and her father. Like it feels like most of the screen time is on them, and it's interesting, but it's not at all like what you would think that movie is. Yeah, it does have like the teen angst in there and everything, but like the romance, it almost feels secondary in it. Like it is a major part, but like, is it the main part? I don't know. But I really liked it. And the romance does play, it is important, but saying it's the main focus, I think is almost debatable.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Good evening, guys. Doug, I'm curious, with the 50th anniversary of Jaws, I'd like to know, what are your top 3 favorite film posters?
Man. Last Crusade is probably my favorite. I just love the layout of that one. It's gonna sound weird, but because I don't know any poster that did it up to that point, just the Batman poster, just the bat symbol. That's it. It didn't even have the title. I don't even remember it had a date on there. It's like that was it. It's like you don't need anything else. And every poster afterwards has tried to do something like that. Or maybe Ghostbusters tried that, maybe. But that was the one that gave me the most chills. And yeah, 3, man, I don't know. I'd have to really go. Probably something by Drew Struzan. It may be while you're going through the next one here, I can look up some of his posters.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. How would you rank Peter, Lois, Chris, Meg, Stewie, and Brian Griffin from favorite to least favorite?
Ah, sheesh. Favorites probably Brian, Lois. No. Brian, Stewie, Lois,
Peter?
I forget. Peter. And
Chris
then then Meg, then Chris. Chris's voice gets a little grating on me. But they're all fine. There's no character where I'm like, oh no, it's one of these characters, that's okay. A third poster, Hook. I love the poster to Hook.
Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 500 bits. Happy Wednesday. What did you guys think of the new Wicked trailer? It looks so magical and epic.
Yeah, I thought it looked good. It looks like it's doing everything, a follow-up should do.
At Movies, thank you for the 500 bits. I strongly recommend a Nostalgia Ween for the 2024 found footage movie Milk and Cereal. It's an unpredictable story full of twists and turns, and it's available for free on YouTube.
I love the
It's Milk and Cereal, like serial killer, not like cereal that
you eat. That's not as fun. Oh, look at that. Okay. I've never heard of this movie. All right. I'll try. I don't know if I'll do a review of it because I don't know anyone that's heard of it, but I'll check it out just for myself because it looks cool.
The Wizard of What, thank you for the $5 super chat. Listen, we all hate Twilight, but what team were you on? Team Edward or Team Diddy? Sorry, I mean Jacob.
Jacob. When I saw it, I'm like, this poor kid. Like he was just the one. He was nice. He was there for her when she was like, "Oh, Edward," and he's actually like, "You got a perfectly good thing right here." And she's, "Oh, but I want to throw myself off a cliff, literally." And I thought he was a legit good actor in the series. So yeah, he was the one I definitely felt sorry for. But they're all pretty terrible people in the story.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. How would you rank the 6 original Avengers?
I gotta look them all up. Just personal favorite, probably Avengers movie. Probably Thor, Black Widow, Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, and who's the other one I'm missing? Oh, and Hawkeye.
Who is it? That would be your last place for sure. Noff, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hello, Doug and Heather. Thoughts on Donkey Kong Bonanza from the Nintendo Direct showcase?
I just saw a thumbnail for that. I don't know what it is. Just a new game, I'm assuming?
Yeah, it's going to be on the Switch. Is it already out? I don't know if it is already out or not. It's on the Switch too. It's going to I think it's going to be like the Mario Odyssey of Donkey Kong. It's going to...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it looks
cool. Like the graphics and everything look cool.
Yeah. I don't have a Switch 2, so I'm not terribly invested in it, and I'm also not terribly invested in Donkey Kong, so I didn't watch it. I haven't been keeping up.
I'm not either, but this looks neat. This actually kind of looks like you said, like Mario Odyssey, like a Mario game. And actually, this does look like a lot of fun. Oh, I gotta watch this. Actually, you kind of sucked me into this. I'm a little interested.
Tanuki Girl, thank you for the 2-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate that.
you.
Yay, 2 months. Hooray. Indeed.
Congrats.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen/heard of the Peter Weir film Green Card?
I don't think okay, yes, I have heard of it. I remember that might have been my introduction to Gerard Depardieu. For some reason, I think I just liked his name. So I was like, I want to see that movie. But I was like a little kid. And they're like, no, you're not going to understand anything about it. No, I want to see it. I never did see it. So maybe I should check it out.
Too Bad Waluigi Time, thank you for the £5 super chat. Rank these from best to worst. A Minecraft movie, Five Nights at Freddy's, and the Angry Birds movie.
Five Nights is probably best. Then, man. Oh man, the Angry Birds or Minecraft? That's rough. I really don't like either of them. I guess I'll say Minecraft and Angry Birds. Angry Birds, I remember getting really angry watching it. Well, I guess it's in the title. Where Minecraft was just stupid.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Doug, are you going to do a review of Hocus Pocus 2?
I did a Untitled review show of it, and nobody really seemed to care that much. I guess never say never. Maybe some nostalgia will build around it or something, but actually, I write that down. It's not such a bad idea. Since I did the first one. The second one is interesting to talk about.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen Arthur with Dudley Moore?
Oh, yeah. That's a fun movie. If somebody doesn't like it, I'm not surprised. but I enjoy it. I thought it was a good time. It depends on whether or not you like him, and I like him. So, I had a good time with it.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Any chance for Disney December you would review the Hercules animated TV series? James Woods even comes back to voice Hades for the whole series.
I remember seeing a little bit of it, and it looked fine. We'll have to see if I can make room for it with the other shows to watch. I will do my best.
Noah, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, season 5 of The Chosen is now streaming on Prime weekly, just so you know. Side note, I'd love an NC review for Aliens in the Attic.
Yeah, people recommended that before. I don't know if there's a crowd. I've definitely gotten recommendations for it, but I don't know if the crowd's big enough, so we'll have to see. And we did start a little bit of Chosen. We didn't, how far are we getting? Not super far, maybe like 20 minutes in, something like that. But we're for the 20 minutes and that we're in, we like it.
Dev, thank you for the 500 bits. Favorite Timothy Dalton James Bond movie?
So I confuse them. The one where I think there's like either a sub or an underwater base or something like that. He's very vengeful in it. I guess he's pretty vengeful in both of them, but he's especially vengeful in this one. And I can't remember which one that is, but that one.
Jamie, thank you for the $5 super chat. While The Mummy was the first movie to use motion capture, the first time it was ever actually used was for the Donkey Kong Country TV show in 1996.
Wait, Mummy's the first one to use motion capture?
That's what they said.
That doesn't sound right. Maybe it's a kind of technology that maybe it's something very specific, but I know it's been used before that. Use anime movements of the characters, primarily emotip and uncredited. Yeah, I mean, maybe do a little bit more research. Maybe you're right. Maybe there's something very specific it did first, but I'm pretty sure it was being used before that.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. How did Freddy Got Fingered not make it on your new worst of list, since it literally broke you and Rob?
It did, but that was the idea, and I kind of respected for that. It's not very easy to break us, especially if it's doing it intentionally. So the fact that we did have to pause it and just take in what we saw, I don't know. There's something about a movie intending to do something else, and it just gets the exact opposite reaction. Where this, I don't know. It's like what's the worst food you ever had? Like something that's designed to be the most sour, hot, awful, whatever, and you try it, and it's like, oh, that's awful. It's like, yes, it's bad, but is it personally going to hurt you? No, it advertises all over the place what it's trying to do. You know what it is? It's like saying what's the worst movie and what's the best worst movie. You know what I mean? Where it's designed to be bad.
Mhm.
So yeah, in a weird way, it didn't make me angry. If anything, I almost kind of appreciated it for what it was trying to do, even though it is bad, but that's what it's trying to be. So yeah, hopefully that answers that.
Porcupines, thank you for the 500 bits. Spaceballs 2 is finally coming out. Amazing that Mel Brooks is pushing 100 and still making movies. Do you think you will still be doing what you're doing at his age?
I don't think I'll still be here at his age. Good lord, yeah, that is crazy to think he's triple digits. I've been reading his book for a little bit. Well, what a cool, he has a cool life, but also a big surprise. He has a cool way of talking about it, very entertaining way of talking about it. No, I'm very impressed by that. Now, to be fair, I'm 99% sure he's not directing it, but just the fact that he's even in it is very, very impressive. So, well, you see, again, what I would have thought is if you do like a CG version of like him as Yogurt, because that's what they did in the movies later anyway, and you could get around that. And I don't know, maybe like Yogurt zaps the whatever President Scroob, and he looks like a different actor or something. And then when he zaps him, like whatever the Revenge of the Sith, because that's how the Emperor gets scarred. Like he zaps him, then he looks like he puts his face on his, like Yogurt's face on. That explains why the two roles are there. I've clearly thought way too much about this sequel. Fanscription. Sorry about that.
Ice Luigi, thank you for the $7 super chat. Between Aardman's Flushed Away and Arthur Christmas, which of the two films aged better in terms of computer animation?
Oh, Arthur Christmas, still. Yeah, because that one, and not even that looks bad, but they were trying to combine styles and two very honestly pretty different styles. And for the most part, they blend together okay. But I mean, there's a reason why when someone waves their hand like this, you don't see a blur. You see every single frame because that's what stop motion looks like. Where with Arthur Christmas, I mean, you had the grander scale. The design was a little bit more unique. The colors were amazing. I mean, just the landscapes were phenomenal. The creativity around all the inventions and the designs of the character, just everything in there, I could just look at and marvel at. Where with Flushed Away, it's fine, but it's another one of those stop motion movies. It's the same style we're used to, even though there is a lot of creative stuff in it. So yeah, that's a long-winded way of saying Arthur Christmas.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Doug, have you watched the Jaws 50th documentary yet?
No, I watched Walter's video on it. I mean, is there? I'm just assuming there's a couple documentaries out right now. Maybe if I type it in, I'm sure it'll pop up. Whatever the big one is. So I'll try to look into it.
Tanuki Girl, thank you for the 500 bits. If you got to travel to any country in Asia, where would you want to go? By the way, I love the epic movie video.
Thank you. Probably Japan. That's one of the ones
yeah.
I've been curious to check out. That's one that's like most of the places I want to go in the world I have gone. That is one where it's like, yeah, I'd be curious to do that. So yeah, that'd probably be the one.
AOTV Productions, thank you for the $5 super chat. Did you know Frankie Muniz is a race car driver now?
Yeah, I heard about that. I didn't know he is like his full-time job. Well, does he need a full-time job? I don't know. No, anytime I see him like nowadays in an interview or something, he's usually got like the tracksuit on. So yeah, I put that together.
Seattle, thank you for the 500 bits. How would you rank these three great critics? Jeremy Johns, Black Nerd Comedy, and Straw Hat Goofy.
I don't think I know Straw Hat Goofy.
The YouTuber, right?
I think so. Straw Hat Goofy. I don't know this guy. At least I don't think so. I gotta look him up. If I've seen a video, I don't remember it sadly. But what was the other ones? Jeremy Johns and
Black Nerd Comedy, Andre.
Black Nerd. I mean, I gotta say Black Nerd. Come on. I mean,
I love Andre. He's so great.
Yeah, and I guess Jeremy Johns would be next, and I just haven't seen the other guys. So, but I will try to check him out.
Will, thank you for the 500 bits. Part 1. Here's some curse knowledge for you regarding Epic Movie. It has an altered scene and an added scene and an extended scene. The altered scene is the wardrobe scene when the naked woman exists the wardrobe in a bikini and tells the Lucy, whatever you do, don't go in there. That's part 1.
Okay, interesting.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Avatar, what do you think of Zhao and his rivalry with Zuko?
Uh, you know, I love the characters in Avatar. He's not a bad character, but he's one of the more boring ones, in
Mm.
my opinion. I actually do like a little bit more how he was. That's one of the few things I liked more in the live action series. I did like the way they handled him. He was a little bit more fun. I like that actor a lot. He always brings a really fun, fresh spin on a character. Even if he's in something awful like old, he just makes it so much fun. If he has a bit part, he always makes it interesting. So yeah, a part of it could be just his performance, but yeah, I thought he made that a little bit more fun.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Heather, what is the saddest Disney moment that you've legit cried at? I can't remember, is Up just Pixar or Disney Pixar? Either way, the first 5 minutes
It's
of
Disney
Up.
Pixar. They're all Disney Pixar.
And honestly, when Mufasa dies in Lion King, oh my
Spoilers.
gosh.
No.
Right, I'm sorry. Spoilers for Lion King, which has been done multiple times now.
Yeah.
One effective, one not so effective. Guess which one is effective? No, I was devastated the first time I saw Mufasa's death in Lion King too. I was also only a child, so I was just like, oh my god. Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 500 bits. What are your thoughts on the new season of Phineas and Ferb? If you've seen it, I just finished binge watching the 10 episodes, and they're all wild.
I started. I think I'm 2 episodes in, and I'm liking it. Funny thing that happened, I clicked on it, and I'm watching it. I'm like, boy, this seems pretty uneventful. I'm surprised they didn't address that they've been away for so long. And I don't know, the writing's not that great. It seems kind of tired. They're not doing anything that fresh. Oh, well, that's a shame. And then when I clicked on it, turns out I just happened to click on episode in the middle. It's like season 3 or 4, like an episode right in the middle. It just wasn't a very funny episode. I'm like,
Oh
oh, all right, well, let me actually try one of the newer. For some reason, that's where Disney Plus put me, and so I went to the new season. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what I was looking for. So, yeah, no, I'm enjoying it so far.
Deshaun, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug, how about doing a DC month and cover the remaining DCEU films that you haven't gotten to? Maybe save Shazam for December since it technically does take place during the holidays.
That's true. Maybe. Last time we did a vote for what the theme month should be, so I'll put that down as a possibility.
Majestic Demon, thank you so much for gifting those 5 subs over on Twitch. Really appreciate that. Thank you. I see you're really trying to help us get to that sub goal that we have in order to do a Studio Ghibli tier list. I see you, and I appreciate you. The Ultimate Frozen Fan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, watched Naked Gun with my dad on Father's Day. Hilarious. NC possibility? Especially with the new Seth MacFarlane produced one with Liam Neeson in August.
I mean, it's funny. I don't know what I could really add to it. I mean, guess you could get some OJ jokes, but aside from that, yeah, everything's pretty straightforward about why it's funny. I feel like I could do like I did a video a long time ago about about parody films at the time, which is now about 15 years ago, something like that. But and I did talk about I think I talked about Naked Gun a little bit and Leslie Nielsen's acting and everything. But yeah, I don't think I could do like a full video on it. I don't think there's too much I could add.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. To take a page from the Jungle Book review. So Seth Rogen plays Seth Rogen, voicing a pig playing Seth Rogen. Watch the new Animal Farm clip and see.
I still couldn't believe that was real. I'm like, no, Andy Serkis said he really wanted to bring this to life, and make it like the book and everything. And I know it's just a clip, and it sounds like it's a clip before everything gets going, but everything was wrong. Like everything, the actors, the look of the film, the pacing of it, the nice music. it looks like it's gonna be. It looks like Ferdinand, that movie that came out a few years ago, and like that's just not the story at all, even close. Uh, so I guess we'll wait and see. But boy, what a terrible first impression.
Will, thank you for the 500 bits. This is part 2 about Epic Movie. The added scene is during the click portion of the fight after the fat guy bounding. It then goes into the ajacked jogger where see downstairs, you can guess the rest.
If I understood the rest. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, because the version I reviewed is the unrated version. Because there were a few scenes I'm looking at this like, boy, why are they bleeping out some of the swear words, but they're just showing straight up nudity? I'm like, oh, because this must be the unrated version. So yeah, because that whole film feels like made by committee, like just no actual understanding of humor or anything. So I'm sure there was a PG-13 version, an R version, and an unrated version. So that doesn't surprise me. I'm listening. I'm just closing the blinds here.
Okay. Dev, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen the mini-series called The 10th Kingdom 2000? That it was made in the year 2000. And if so, what are your thoughts?
I think I remember seeing it advertised. Hold on, let me make sure that's the one I'm thinking of. Hold on. 10th Kingdom. Yeah, so I haven't seen it. I heard some interesting things about it. I trying to remember if they were good or bad, or maybe both. I should probably check it out because you're not the first one to bring that up.
Sway, thank you for the $5 super chat. Mr. Walker, since you mentioned one of your favorite films was The War of the Roses, have you seen the trailer for The Roses? And if so, thoughts?
Yeah, doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look necessary. I like giving a little bit more of a modern spin with like the way the house looks, and it's a little bit more, it's not really like like a gothic mansion. It's more like a modern, almost kind of LA looking house. I don't think that's where it takes. I forget, I think it's in England, but it has like more that look and that vibe. It also doesn't look like it's going to go as dark as it, or if it is, it's not embracing it as much just from the trailer. I can't say it looked bad, but I mean, I just love the original so much. So we'll see. I don't know if I'll go see it in the theaters, but I might stream it.
AOTV, thank you for the $10 super chat. At the 2005 Kids' Choice Awards, Will Smith won Favorite Voice from an Animated Movie, beating Cameron Diaz, Mike Myers, and Eddie Murphy from Shrek 2. Thoughts?
I mean, I'm assuming it was for Shark Tale. I mean, I don't know. If the children of 2005 let us down, I just don't know what hope there is for the present.
Yeah, great. Tyler, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, what are your thoughts on Cobra with Sylvester Stallone? In my opinion, Stallone's equivalent to Schwarzenegger's Commando.
I haven't seen the whole thing. I've seen clips. I should sit down and watch the whole thing because it looks like you said, I loved Commando. I feel like this is the Stallone version of that. It sounds like it'd be fun.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. While I will give the Steven Universe sequel, Lars of the Stars, a chance, I'm disappointed that of all people, Lars is getting a spinoff.
Maybe that's their thought. Like, hey, if we're going to do this, let's make it a real challenge. Let's just take our character like nobody likes. I don't even know if the writers like him, and be like, let's make a whole show around, like, let's really challenge ourselves. That's the only thing I can figure. So, I mean, it sounds like it's still good people around it and everything. So, yeah, I guess we'll see.
Trip, thank you for the $5 super chat. Why did you stiff us a Q&A session last week? Also, favorites of the 3 crystal gems. Doug didn't have a voice. He literally couldn't do it.
I don't have a voice. Yeah, my voice was go, and I knew I had a lot of talking stuff coming up with How to Train Your Dragon, and also doing Brad's review of that. And it was it order of the favorite gems. Was that it?
Yeah, 3 favorite crystal gems.
Garnet's probably my favorite. Not Peridot, and then who'd be after that? This is a little bit. No, I can't. It's kind of a spoiler for Garnet. If you know,
just say it. It's fine.
Okay. What makes up Garnet? I'll say that. I like that. I like the individual sides of that. I like seeing them talk to each other and everything. I found that very interesting. If that doesn't count, Pearl.
A lover of cinema, thank you for the 500 bits. My favorite scene in How to Train Your Dragon is when Hiccup and Toothless spend time with one another and their friendship starts to bloom. Not only does it do an excellent job at getting across everything without hardly using any dialogue, but the character animation is great. It's paced very well, and of course, the music is amazing. It's one of the best scenes in any DreamWorks movie and a 10 out of 10 scene.
Yeah, I liked it. I guess I didn't. I thought it was one of those scenes where, like, in when I did the Two Towers review, I had a bit where I mentioned, "Did you know that Viggo Mortensen actually broke his toe when hitting that?" And I didn't know that was a meme. Like everybody talked about it, so
I
I
love
went
that
back
you didn't
and
know that.
I didn't know that, so I went in and like I added that there. So I had a feeling everybody knew about the animation glitch with Toothless when he puts his hand out and he sort of goes like that, and he thinks and he does it like that was a glitch. He wasn't supposed to go like that first. But I probably should have put that in because the comments filled up with them anyway. So I probably should have turned it into a joke.
Potato Head fan, thank you for the $10 super chat. Doug, please do a tier list of classic Disney animated with the gang too. Yeah, I guess we haven't done classic yet. We did Renaissance and Revival.
Huh.
Yeah, we haven't done classic yet. It's
we
on the
should do
list. It's on the list.
Good
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What are your thoughts on the movie Gattaca? I thought it had good acting and ideas, but found the storytelling and world building a bit lacking at times.
I think it's a good movie. I think more people got sucked into the idea of it. That's not to say there's not good character or scenes I don't remember, certainly. But I'm a little with you. It's almost a little too adult where there's so much sitting down and talking and sort of very, with straight face and talk about this. I know that's kind of the world, but I'm with you. At times I found it a little dull, but I did care about enough. I cared about the people enough. I still remember the bit with with the swimming. And that has nothing to do with DNA or catching little hairs or anything like that or cells and anything. So the fact that I still remember that years later and that has nothing to do with even the premise of the film, what usually sucks people in, it's doing something right.
Will, thank you for the 500 bits, part 3. And the extended, still about epic movie, and the extended scene is the ending bit with Borat saying not after the kids get run over and crushed, which followed up with Borat saying not, then it just ends.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's the one I saw because all those scenes were in there, or most of them.
Jesus, thank you for the $5 super chat. Can you do a movie review of the movies The Hot Chick with Rachel McAdams and Anna Faris?
That's the Rob Schneider movie, right? It's just why you mentioned that. Okay, hold on. The Hot Chick movie. Yeah, that's the one. Rachel McAdams. I just love you mentioned the two side actresses and not the main actor. That's really funny. Especially since it's Rob Schneider. I haven't seen it. Maybe I should. I don't know if I've done a Rob Schneider movie. Have I not? I think I had Deuce Bigelow on there for a long time. I think more people know The Hot Chick, though. There's probably more offensive stuff in there, too, so maybe I'll do that.
I love that. Probably more offensive stuff in there. Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, have you seen the FX miniseries, The People vs. O.J. Simpson? It's really good, particularly Sarah Paulson and Sterling K. Brown's performances.
No, I probably should. I always say I haven't because I did live through it. I just saw all this, happening.
It's good.
But I did hear they add some unique points of view on it, and stuff that I think I saw so many. I mean, because it really was everywhere. I saw so many documentaries about it, both around that time and then years later. I kind of just said, this is just, I'm sure it's done fine, but it's just another one. Then everyone says it's like kind of the best one. Even though I know it's really not a documentary, but it's going off of stuff that really happened. So I should probably check it out.
Adam, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey guys, recently played a French video game, Expedition 33, maybe the most tragically beautiful story about grief I've ever seen. A masterpiece in storytelling that broke me in the first hour, 10 out of 10. Add it to the next game list.
What's it called again?
It's Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Yeah.
Clair Obscur. Look up Expedition 33. I just started it. I'm in Act 1 right now. It is It is so French, you would think that it would be offensive if it wasn't made by actual French people. I fought a
Oh, that's
mime,
pretty
Doug.
funny.
It
Wait,
is it is
this
turn-based, but it's a little bit more of an
oh, it's that kind of
action-packed
game. Okay.
turn-based that you might enjoy. I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay.
I'm
I just saw
loving
the
it, and I'm only in act 1, and I'm loving it.
I just saw the cover to the soundtrack, and you're right. This is the most French looking thing I've
You
seen in
would
my
think
life.
it would be offensive if you didn't know it was actually made by French people.
You have to fight Jerry Lewis as one of the bosses. That looks cool. Yeah, we'll definitely look into that.
A lover of cinema, thank you for the 500 bits. Fun fact, in How to Train Your Dragon, the line, "Thank you for nothing, you useless reptile," was not in the script and was instead improvised by Jay Baruchel.
Baruchel.
Thank you. Knowing that makes the line better and more funny.
Yeah, he I do feel bad because I have made fun of his voice a lot, but he is very, very funny. If you've ever seen the show Man Seeking Woman, he is so funny in that. It's a brilliant show. Honestly, I don't think it gets enough attention, but yeah, no, he's that doesn't shock me. He's a very funny dude.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. While he will be producing and writing Incredibles, Brad Bird will not be directing. Instead, it will be Good Dinosaur and Elemental director Pete Son.
Okay, well, I didn't know. It's funny because I know he did Elemental. I didn't know he also did Good Dinosaur. Elemental is better than Good Dinosaur, though. You know what? Let's hope it's that. Starts with Good Dinosaur, then makes Elemental, and then makes a really good Expendables 3. Incredibles 3. Though good Expendables 3 would also be nice.
Tyler, thank you for the $5 super chat. Did you see Mel Brooks' teaser for Spaceballs 2? Thoughts? And my opinion, it won't be the same without Joan Rivers and John the Candyman Candy.
I mean, again, it depends what they do. I'm assuming they're gonna do. They have to do something with time traveling. I feel like in order to go back in time, like they have to. There's too much comedic possibility. Even if the effects are bad, that'll be what's funny about it. Because you can make fun of Star Wars with that. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I hope they know what they're doing because yes, it is one of those where it could easily go wrong. But man, there's so much potential for it too.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Any chance you'll do an NC on the original Men in Black? It's almost 30 years old, if you can believe it.
I thought about it. I should probably write it down. Yeah, because it's weird. I only did number 2, which is a very random one to do. But yeah, maybe I'll wait for it to get to the 30-year mark, and I'll do it then.
Jimmy, thank you for the $5 super chat. What makes a completely evil and unsympathetic villain interesting? I'm writing a villain that's irredeemable and don't want them to be one note.
Boy, I don't entirely know. It's hard to say because I mean,
I guess I would say make it this is a hard word to use, but make it fun and engaging. You know what I mean? Like, do something weird, like make him a clown. You know, like make him like Kefka from Final Fantasy VI. I don't know, like do something interesting that isn't necessarily a character note, but something that does still make them stand out and maybe enhance and show off just how like kind of wildly evil and unsympathetic they are, you know?
There has to be. I'm trying to think of the ones that are irredeemable, but I still follow and I enjoy watching. There has to be a passion to what they do. And you don't even need to know why they're doing it. They just have to really enjoy it. Because I think of like just the worst scary, you know, you can go to something, a fairy tale like Maleficent, you go to something just scarier like A Clockwork Orange. And I enjoy watching both of them, even though I'm like, man, these are just awful, you know, creations. But they both have a passion for what they're doing. There is this lust for life in there, and even though they're doing awful things, like including robbing life from others, but yes, there has to be something where we connect somehow to them, and usually a passion for that makes them both scarier, but it also makes us want to watch them.
Shane, thank you for the 500 bits. What would you say is the best Disney movie soundtrack? That's
man,
because
you know, are we talking score? Are we talking songs?
They just said best Disney movie soundtrack,
Man.
so I would include all of the above. You know, the most solid.
I get. I mean, I can name a couple: Mary Poppins, Hunchback, Lion King, um, Aladdin would be up there.
Beauty and the Beast is up there for
Beauty and the
me.
Beast. Uh, I mean, I feel like those are pretty
Yeah.
good. I'm
Maze,
sure there's more, but yeah, those are the ones that are popping in my head. Yeah, I didn't even think it's that animated live action. Like, yeah, Ben Knobs and Broomsticks would probably be up there too. Yeah, that's rough.
Maze, thank you for the $5 super chat. Welcome back, Doug. I saw Elio today, and it was very good. Very sweet and original. Hope it gets 13 nominations at Oscars since Zoe Saldana's in it.
um,
The Amelia
yeah, no,
Perez reference.
it's funny because when I saw the trailers, I'm like, ooh, that looks good. And then I keep forgetting it's coming. It's coming out tomorrow.
I know, right?
And I keep forgetting about it. So yeah, I mean, I guess from what I've heard, it's good. So I'm glad just to see something original again from Disney and Pixar for that matter. Yeah, no, I'm excited to check it out.
Sean49 Doctor, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey Doug, if you're looking for something new and different, check out Chris Landreth's short film, Ryan. It involves the tragic backstory of animation artist Ryan Larkin, whose own work with the NFB includes walking and street music, and whose career was sadly sidelined by drugs and alcohol. The art style of both Landreth and Larkin still holds up even now.
Oh, there's a Navy SEAL with the same name too. Here he is. Interesting. Okay, and what's the name of the movie again?
Ryan.
Oh, just Ryan? Okay.
Yeah.
Art movie you just had me there so I don't forget. All right. Oh, there it is. Cool. Yeah, looks interesting. I'll try to check it out.
Lover of cinema, thank you for the 500 bits. If you had to hang out with either of these celebrities that you're not a fan of for a day, who would you pick? Matthew Broderick or Tobey Maguire?
I'm sure they're both lovely people. You want to know what's so funny? I saw Matthew Broderick go on Celebrities in Cars getting coffee, and that's just how he is. He just talks
just
that
who
way.
He is.
Yeah,
he's just like that.
And I found that fascinating. So I would almost like to go, yeah, maybe hang with him just to hear more. Like, you talk that way. That's just how you talk, which is, fascinating. But it's like, why would you be an actor if you can't really change the tone in your voice or anything? But some people, like Christopher Walken has a weird way of talking. He's very successful. Goldblum, a lot of other people. So yeah, that'd probably be the one. He seems very, very nice.
Tyler, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, what do you think happened after the cut to black at the end of The Sopranos?
It's one of those where I did get into the show, but I was kind of fading off a little bit at the end. I was kind of finally running thin. So I did tune in for the last episode. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, I see. All right, whatever. And I never thought about it again because it was just kind of a letdown. I'm just like, all right. And again, I saw what they were trying to do, but in a show that's setting up so much of the world, they made the world too interesting, and they made the people too interesting. They made the strategy and the setup too interesting. So I know what they're talking about, where it's like, well, it's not glamorous. There isn't anything. You don't get anything. Like, that's it. It's kind of almost going against the idea of the whole show. But it's like, but if you're gonna do that, why even have the show to begin with and have it be that good and get us that sucked in? So I appreciate the experimental side of it, but I guess what I'm getting to is that it so didn't interest me. I never thought about it, and I still don't have much interest in it. I mean, I have to go back and watch the whole thing again just to remember, even what exactly happened up to that point. I remember story beats, but it's a long show. So that's a long-winded way of saying don't know, don't care.
Juliana, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you do an NC on the day the Earth blew up?
I've toyed with the idea. It's one of those where I get the feeling I would do it and either nobody would watch it or there'd be this very dedicated fan base that's like, at last, and they'd all go to it. Because I know there's definitely a dedicated fan base to it, but I don't know if they would check out my video on it. So I'll have to see. I've been toying around with the idea.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on the last 2 episodes of Bob's Burgers? Also, why weren't you in the Blues Brothers video since you're a big fan as Jim and Walter? It's
'Cause we're
Walter's
all busy.
project. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all really busy, and and honestly, I kind of like. I thought that was really cool seeing them drive, and not only are they looking around the prison and everything, but they're just talking about the impact the movie has had. Like, they're just two people. They're together a lot. They work on a lot of stuff,
Hmm.
and I feel like just seeing them together, shooting the shit in the car, like was kind of nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I dug it, even though there's no Doug in it. But and what was the other thing? The other
Last
part
two
of the question?
episodes of Bob's Burgers. Thoughts?
Oh, good. Honestly, this season wasn't winning me over that much, so I was like, is this are they losing their step or whatever? But yeah, the last two episodes were pretty good, pretty clever, and I enjoyed them.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Amphibia, what do you think of Mayor Toadstool?
Um, I like the voice actor. The just most of the things in that town didn't do anything for me. So I didn't get into him too much, but yeah, I mean that actor's got a great range, obviously, but yeah, that just wasn't one of the more interesting characters he played.
Danny, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hello, Doug and Heather. Who are your favorite Muppet and Sesame Street characters?
Well, Oscar the Grouch, Sesame Street. I also do like Snuffleupagus. He's pretty cool. I'm talking like he's a real guy. And then Muppets. That's another. It's like that one. There's so many.
I
I'm
love
like,
Miss Piggy.
hold on,
Miss Piggy.
Muppets.
I grew up idolizing her. So
Yeah, Pig is pretty great. I do really like Gonzo. Yeah,
Animal.
like oh the the two guys.
Statler and
Oh,
Waldorf.
is it Statler and Waldorf? Yeah, it's got to be them. Clearly, it's got to be them. Yeah, Statler and Waldorf. Yeah.
Gorilla Steve, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug and Heather, would you rather see a live action God of War movie or a live action Dead Space movie?
I don't know Dead Space, so I guess I'll say God of War.
I've never played Dead Space before, but I do feel like based off everything I know about it, it would make a better movie than God of War. God of War, I think, is just needs to be a TV series. There's so much happening in God of War. It's got to be a TV series. I think there's just too much to condense into a movie, but Dead Space could be a very cool, like, alien-esque movie.
Yeah, by the time you get to the end, you're right. That needs to be a series because you really need to build up getting there.
There's
There
a
are
lot
some
of
twists and
stuff.
turns. Yeah, and by the time you get there, there is like a, just like breathe out. Okay, like it's done kind of thing. There's really a sense of accomplishment. You would get that more from a series. I think you're right.
YMB, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, have you seen Hayao Miyazaki's first film, The Castle of Cagliostro? And if so, what do you think of it?
I loved it. I know a little bit what Lupin the Third is. I haven't seen much of it, but when I was told that was Miyazaki's first movie, I'm like, well, I'm sold. And yeah, just for something that I know when you get a movie, you get a bigger budget and everything, but man, just how funny is it that this hit show that honestly has limited animation, is just suddenly given Miyazaki's first film, like it has his trademarks all over it. And just, man, what a what a nice little present that is to be given. Like, just, oh, by the way, you're going to be given probably one of the greatest anime directors of all time doing his first film. Enjoy. Just like, oh, thank you.
Cyborg Parrot, thank you for the $5 super chat. I know you're not a fan of the Jurassic Park sequels, but will you go see Rebirth? Also, what's your ranking of the JP sequels from hated to enjoyed?
Of course I'll see it, I guess. I will say this. It looks like they're finally having some fun with the mutating the dinosaurs and making them look weird and stuff like that. It's not just a big raptor, kind of thing. So it looks like they're having more fun with that. And let me look at
The sequels.
yeah, because there's so damn many of them now. Probably.
I mean, you don't have to rank them all, but like, what's your most hated and what's your most favorite?
Well, because I forget the names of them.
How dare you? Fake fan.
Man, it's like, let's say Dominion, because they should have known by that point as the worst. Fallen Kingdom, Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic World, and then Jurassic Park.
Peter, thank you for the $5 super chat. Of all the big movies coming out next month, if you can only see one in July, which are you gonna both see? Superman. I'm a DC girly. I gotta see Superman.
I just got my early invite to that. Pretty excited.
Ooh.
Uh, yeah, I'd have to see what else is coming out, but it's just easy to say Superman. Sure, Superman.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And King of the Hill, what do you think of Buck Strickland?
He doesn't interest me that much. Like, he's not a bad character. I see what they're doing with him and everything. He just never fascinated me. I didn't think he was that funny. He more just it seems like a setup to be not a foil, but a problem for Hank. And I don't know, those kind of characters that are mainly set up just to be problems don't interest me that much. They have to add something else to them.
Tyler, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, missed opportunity not doing a first viewing of Barney's Great Adventure with the man, the myth, the legend, Barney, Dad Lee Walker.
I don't know how far any of us would have gotten with that. That's one of those. So every other week I do a review where I'm watching it and I'm kind of writing it at the same time. So when I say let's take a look at the beginning of the review, I literally am taking a look for the first time as I'm writing it. The other ones with the cast I have more time with, to set them up and everything. But yeah, so I also don't know what he'd be able to add to that.
Juliana, thank you for the $5 super chat. Is there a TV show that you think is underrated? Mine is the reboot of One Day at a Time and Gallivant.
Gallivant's good.
Love Gallivant.
Undone is a wonderful show. Doesn't get enough attention. I'm sure there's others.
But that's just what you're thinking of right now.
Yeah, it's just the only one I'm on. Yeah.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Doug, could you do Tailspin or other Disney afternoon shows like Chip 'n Dale Rescue Ranger for Disney December?
Maybe. I did a Disney afternoon Nostalgia Critic where I feel like I covered a lot about him there. But if I think of something else to talk about, maybe I will.
Isaac, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey guys, how do y'all feel about the Naked Gun series? Any expectations for the upcoming one with Liam Neeson?
The new one does have some scenes where I laughed hard. The Norberg joke is pretty brilliant. We were at a Chinese restaurant and we were talking about the trailer. Everyone was just like, "Have you seen the trailer? Seen the trailer?" And Rob's like, "No, but I'm not interested." I'm like, "Let me just tell you this one joke," and I told him the last joke, and he had to cover. He was like, "All right, now I'm interested." That really took some balls. The other jokes I've seen though, I don't know. I'm a little concerned because they're just not that funny, but I like they're setting it more in this modern world, almost like a Taken movie, if he was a cop or something like that. So I like that, but yeah, a lot of the jokes just aren't making me laugh. So we'll see. I'm still open to it. I'm surprisingly more open to it than I thought I would be, but yeah, I just gotta see how it turns out.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. New Groove-themed questions for a bit. Angel and Shoulder Devil have their own series called Good Omens. To be fair, you didn't make a Catwoman joke either.
Well, I said they should have made a Catwoman joke. That is the joke. And yeah, I didn't see Good Omens. I heard it was good, though.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen American Dad?
Yeah, so I didn't get into it at first, but apparently, I don't know if it's still this way, but for a while, everyone was saying, "Oh yeah, Family Guy's really bad now," but American Dad got really good. Something switched. So I don't know if that's still the case, but yeah, I don't think I saw it when it was good. I only saw the bad early stuff.
Brady, thank you for the $5 super chat. I have an idea for a song parody of Thriller by Michael Jackson called Filler, and have a bunch of anime characters do the dance. That's fun.
Yeah,
Make it.
I was gonna say, I think I did that joke in the Casper review. I'm just like, oh, somebody must have done this before, but maybe not. So if you want to rip me off, that's totally fine.
Strider for Life, thank you for the 500 bits. I'm impressed at the fact that Mel Blanc voiced the majority of the Looney Tunes characters by himself.
Oh yeah, but he didn't do all of them. He didn't do Elmer Fudd. He didn't do ones that June Foray did, like Granny and Witch Hazel and all that. But yeah, it very much did the majority of it, and yeah, he was crazy talented.
Peter, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, have you seen Mel Brooks' announcement for Spaceballs 2? And if so, what are your thoughts? Are you excited to see it?
Yeah, I am. I think you could, like they said, there's so much material you can make fun of with modern Star Wars, including the prequel. So yeah, I think it'd be great.
McMida, thank you for the 47-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome
Thank
back.
you.
Appreciate that. How do you do the bits cheer? I saw that someone shared with you the help article on how to do it, but you can also just do cheer and then the number. So for this, you'd have to do cheer 500 and then write your question. James, thank you for the $10 super chat. As of right now, the Lilo and Stitch remake has made over $861 million worldwide. That is so sad how stupid people are to fall for the keys of nostalgia dangled in front of them.
I didn't care for it. It's not the worst offender. There's at least good acting in it. At least it's a more modern story that they're doing, so there's kind of less to screw up. Even then, I think they did screw up quite a bit, but especially when you hear it's supposed to be a Disney Plus movie, I guess. I still don't think I would like it, but I'd be a little bit more lenient towards it. I'd be more angry at, I'm more angry at something like Lion King, you know what I mean, or Beauty and the Beast, like those remakes. But a lot of people are saying, well, why are the others doing bad, but this one does well? I'll say this. I'm hoping, we want to give them out remakes, but at the very least, this movie did not cost much. So I'm hoping to get the idea, okay, scale down and just be a little bit more clever about it. Well, they're not going to get the clever part, but at least look at the scaled down part.
Ricardo, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hello, Doug. For next Christmas, it would be cool if you could review the Flintstones TV movie where they adapt A Christmas Carol. I remember watching it as a kid and it was kind of charming and serious.
I remember liking it okay. Of course, raises the question, how can, cavemen celebrate Christmas if, it's before Jesus? You got to wonder.
Strider for Life, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen the robot horror movie called Chopping Mall?
Chopping, CH?
Yes, Chopping Mall.
Shopping Mall? I don't think so. Chopping Mall. No, looks like fun. I'll try to check it out.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What did you think of the Family Guy episode where Brian befriends a reclusive opera singer? It won an Emmy for the original song, You've Got a Lot to See. I thought it had a surprisingly touching story.
Yeah, I remember. It's funny. I forgot that song until you said that title. I'm like, oh, I do remember that song now. Yeah, I remember liking it. It's one of those where I completely forgot about it until you brought it up again. But now I'm like, yeah, no, I remember thoughting. I could talk. I remember thinking it was decent.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. The way you describe Better Call Saul versus Breaking Bad is the same way I describe The Office against Parks and Rec. Parks and Rec is slower, but there's actually interesting and likable characters than The Office.
100% agree. The Office is a good show. I just can't stand it. And the same thing, I can't stand those people if they have to look at the camera one more time when they say a punchline. But I acknowledge it's good. It's a fine show. Parks and Rec is more my speed. Even Parks and Rec has a very bumpy start, but it gets really, really good. And I just love all those people. So yeah, I think it's just going to be, but which ones? I mean, they're both pretty well known, but I think Office is more well known, so it's just kind of a pick your poison.
Trip, thank you for the $5 super chat. Please tell me you're going to review the Teacher's Pet series and 2002 Pinocchio for Disney-cember.
This year, no. I'll see if I can get to it down the line.
Haunted Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. New Nostalgia Ween theme. Okay, and this is supposed to be sung like Grim Grinning Ghosts, and my brain is having a hard time wrapping around this. I know Grim Grinning Ghosts, I swear to God. When the studio creaks and the cameras quake, the awesome team of video make happy actors materialize and began to socialize. Film YouTubers come out to criticize.
Kind of a fun idea.
That is really fun.
So we already have our Nostalgia Ween intro. The animator actually turned it in really early. so we got that already, but man, there's something there. I'm gonna write that down. There's something there.
McMada, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen or be interested in doing a review of the 1989 movie Second Sight, starring John LaRoquette and Bronson Pinchot? Pincott? I'm so sorry.
Pinchot.
It was a quintessential cable movie that they would play constantly on the movie channels in the early 90s. It was neither that good or that bad, but strange to say, I cannot find a single online movie review for it, even comedically.
I've never even heard of it. I'll try to check it out. We're a slave to the algorithm like a lot of people, so I don't know if I'll do like an NC review of it, but I'll try to look into it because I haven't even heard of it before.
A lover of cinema, thank you for the 500 bits. Which first installment of these 2000s comic book trilogies is better? X-Men 2000 or Spider-Man 2002? For me, I'd say Spider-Man. I find it to be more compelling story-wise, more fun to watch, and has a bit more charm to it, even if it's campy and cheesy.
That's rough because the Spider-Man movies are a bit more unique, which I used to not like, but as we got more and more comic book movies, now I actually really do like that they're different, a little cheesy, a little corny. That's part of the charm. And two is fantastic. Two is like a really, really good movie. With X-Men, just collectively, I think I'm more invested in that story, and I'm just more an X-Men guy. I grew up with X-Men more than Spider-Man. So personally, I'd probably say X-Men, but in terms of like which ones are made better, like structurally a little better, probably the Spider-Man movies.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Which villain in a Martin Campbell film do you like more? I'm gonna mess up the first one. Trevelyan from Goldeneye or Montanero from Zorro?
Um, Probably Montanero. Yeah, most of the villains from Zorro I like a little bit more, even though GoldenEye does have some really good villains.
Austin, thank you for the $5 super chat. What steps would you recommend to become a critic?
Um, I usually say offer a unique point of view on something. It doesn't mean be contrarian. It doesn't mean, well, if everybody likes it, I gotta hate it. If everyone hates it, I gotta like it. It just means offer something that maybe you notice that other people aren't. Or even if you notice what everybody's noticed, it maybe put in a way that other people aren't putting it. Use like a different analogy, but offer something other people are not offering and that they'll find beneficial. And that can be humor. I like utilizing a lot of I like utilizing humor. I like utilizing characters, songs, story. I like incorporating all that in. I like making them cover production because then when people say what gives you the right to make fun of bad productions, because I have made fun of bad. I've made bad productions, So I feel like in the same way, I don't take it personally when somebody says, "Oh, I hate this, that terrible, blah blah blah." I don't think other people should take it too seriously when I say this kind of stuff. So, yeah, I say definitely find something unique to offer that nobody else is, but people will also find beneficial.
Isaac, thank you for the $5 super chat. What determines what NC reviews have skits in it or not? Malcolm and the others are fun to see, and I respect the effort put into a lot of the skits.
Thank you. It's just one where if it feels like I can expand on it more, I will. If it's one where it's like, nah, I can, like I said, sometimes even I just write it as I'm watching the movie. It's a lot simpler that way. I do that. That's basically it, just how much material the movie gives.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. Someone at Marvel must have seen your first viewing of Fan 4 Stick, because now there is a Marvel film with a guy just called Bob. Any new first viewings coming?
Maybe when we do like, I don't know, Minecraft or Snow White or something like that. I'm sure people want to see Rob's reaction to that. And I don't even remember Bob in the Fan 4 Stick reviews. So yeah, I guess they can have it because how we remember it.
Ricardo, thank you for the $7 super chat. Hello, Doug. The last epic movie review was pretty cool. I was surprised you didn't mention the albino guy was Kevin Hart.
Was it? No. That was Kevin Hart. Did I totally miss that?
I've never seen epic movie. I do not know.
Hold on. Epic movie Kevin Hart. It does kind of look like him. Let's see. Today. So it's yeah, it's showing the albino, but he's not. It's weird. He's not showing up in like the
The credits.
has yeah, he has 1 star on IMDb. Uh Thank God. Yeah, it's not showing up on IMDb. That's so weird. But when I type it in, like, yeah, he shows up there. Uh, I'm gonna have to. I know it sounds weird, but I have to look into this further because it's just not showing up on IMDb unless he's like really far down at the bottom, which would be really weird.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Arthur Christmas, what do you think of the scene where Malcolm reads all the letters Arthur wrote for the kids?
Uh, oh, I love it. I mean, I'm assuming that's the talk about the opening. Well, and again, that shows why he's more qualified because he's still, yes, everyone else gets busy, but he's still doing the heart of the job where he's reading it. There's so many little things in that movie that every time I watch it, I'm like, oh, like, yes, there's little jokes, but then there's little emotional moments. I always say, I love when, he sees the kid's missed and he says, boy, she'll think she's the only one in the world didn't get a present. She'll feel so left out. And the way he said that, he's talking about him. And he knows that feeling. Like he doesn't acknowledge it, he doesn't say it, but when he's at the table, he just has a look. It's just this great animation where he's like, no, he's talking about himself there. He relates to that. And that's such a little moment that they could do a whole speech on if they want, but they don't. They just have a little bit of emotion there. And yeah, I think because you do have him constantly responding to the letters and even using like the little sparkly magic markers and stuff like that. Like he wants to make it a little extra special. All that adds up.
James, thank you for the $10 super chat. What do you think to add to, sorry, what do you think to add the Scorsese film The Color of Money, Bette Midler's Ruthless People, the remake Father of the Bride, or Ernest Saves Christmas for Disney-cember?
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't following it until I got to the end of the question
that.
either, sorry.
I mean, I did a Nostalgia Critic Saves Christmas. I feel like I got that in. Ruthless People would kind of be fun. Because not a lot of people know about that movie, but it is pretty funny. I'll look into some of the other one. I don't know if they get that many. Those would have to be ones I only do for me because I know they wouldn't get many hits. But sometimes I do that.
Mustard Man, thank you for the 500 bits. If B Movie is baby's first troll movie, then what are other troll films of society? Minecraft movie right now.
Minecraft, Christ, yeah, definitely. I know a lot of people say Shrek is. I think I kind of missed that one, but like, I see it referenced a lot. Well, I do see memes of it and everything, so I guess it kind of makes sense.
I mean, even something like Borat was.
Yeah, I guess Borat was. Yeah, I mean, something where it's like Shrek is kind of a mix between like a troll movie and a meme movie. I think people just like to do memes on it. Where yeah, Minecraft definitely feels like people are kind of collectively trolling it in many respects. So yeah, I don't know. There's some.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. Loved how the more you thought about my theory on Tomorrow Never Dies predicting staged and influenced news media was foreshadowing us, the more it looked like you're starting to believe it. Gotta laugh.
I mean, you got her, else you cry.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, do you think Land Before Time Death was more effective than Lion King or Bambi? I don't know if I would say more effective than Lion King. I still think Lion King probably has the biggest punch of like a death scene of those three, but I mean, it was well done. That one did also make me cry. Colonel, thank you for the $5 super chat. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
Yeah, sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. YouTube.
Nick, thank you for the $5 super chat. Pretty sure you were asked this several times already, but thoughts on Spaceballs 2 announcement trailer? Never heard your thoughts, and I'm curious.
Well, you can hear it 5 times if you rewind. Yeah, no, it looks good. I'm excited for it. That opening scroll I thought was very, very funny.
ZoMG, thank you for the $2 super chat. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Both Jungle Book films got Ka wrong, and that makes me sad. We know.
I mean, there's a lot of. I'm assuming you mean the Disney ones. I think. So yeah, no, because I mean, a lot of the characters are very different from the book.
Yeah, true. Very true. McMadia, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you heard of the Stephen King miniseries Storm of the Century? In my opinion, it's one of his better series, great for Halloween and or a really cold, snowy night to watch.
Boy, it's funny you said that because somebody recommended it to me because it was so bad.
Oh,
uh,
really?
yeah, so I did have it down as a possibility. But yeah, that does make me kind of want to check out. Even the miniseries are so long, though. That's the tricky thing. And like I said, I do still have graphic tee, and it does still chip away a little bit. So miniseries, that's rough. That would be rough to do.
Trip, thank you for the $5 super chat. Did you get a chance to check out Matt Brunette, aka Animat?
Why does that sound familiar?
I think they recommended that you check him out.
Yeah, I have not yet. No, I haven't. I'm sorry. I will try my best to do so in the future.
Truth, Hope, Love, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you heard Tim Curry's version of Joker? If so, what do you think, especially compared to Mark Hamill?
I'm. I think I finally heard it at some point. I always heard something like he was kind of sick or something like that. I don't know if that's true or not. Um, I think he could be a very good. I think he's designed like Tim Curry, honestly. Uh, when you look at the drawing of him, but I, from what I heard, I don't think that would work. But I feel like if you just gave him a slightly different direction, he could be a pretty good Joker. But I mean, obviously, adore Mark Hamill as the. I mean, that's still the
Mhm.
voice I hear whenever I read a comic with Joker in it. So it would be interesting to see a parallel universe where Tim Curry did it, and they just directed him a little different because I bet he'd be great. But it'd have to be a slightly different voice. It couldn't just be his normal voice.
James, thank you for the $10 super chat. What films would you like to see the original longer versions of? For me, the 6-hour Lost Horizon, 2-hour Wizard of Oz, the preview version of 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T, and the 3-hour Blues Brothers. Ooh, 3-hour Blues Brothers would be interesting.
See, 2.5 is already too long for me. And I love that movie, but the extended cut, I don't show people the extended cut. I'm like, don't do it. That's not a good intro. Only do it if you've seen the original. Rogue One, I love to see the original version.
Oh, heck yeah.
Suicide Squad, I love to see the original version. Um, what's some other ones? Neverending Story, I love to see the original version. Yeah, seriously, there's some.
Eccentric Gentleman, thank you for the £5 super chat. I submitted a ton of suggestions for your international commercials. Was I too late? Did you see my suggestions? I updated the post quite a few times.
I mean, I look at the commercials. I don't look at who sent them. So maybe you'll know soon.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Zorro, what do you think of the scene where Alejandro battles Montero and Love both at the same time?
Um. Sorry. You know, for some reason I was thinking of the climax, but I'm like, no, like Hopkins and him fighting, but no, it's Banderas. I thought that was cool. I can't imagine how. I mean, I guess you could get a different actor in the mask and everything, but I don't think it would. It looked like Banderas. That's got to be so tricky to do that, to fight just different moves on each. Now they don't do it for long because I'm sure it was so tricky. But yeah, even just that little bit was pretty awesome.
ZoMG Ruler, thank you for the $5 super chat. Which CBM review is more likely to happen first? Punisher Warzone or Meteor Man? Been a while, Doug. Glad you're doing better. R.I.P. Brian Douglas Wilson.
Gotta that goes on and off. I gotta look up the Brian
Douglas Wilson. I'm actually not sure who that is either. I'm sorry.
American musician, songwriter. Oh, the Beach Boys guy. Yeah. We
Oh,
talked about it
gotcha.
before.
Yes, Beach Boy. We did talk
Um,
about that. Thank you.
yeah, we talked about that. And what's the other part of the question?
What's going to
Sorry.
happen first? Punisher Warzone or Meteor Man?
Probably Meteor Man because I've actually never seen it, and I hear it's a lot of fun. So I should check it out.
Somewhere Walter heard you say that and is shaking his head.
Yeah, he's the one that's just like, what?
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of Lapis from Steven Universe?
Oh, she's good. Yeah, she's always one of those where it's funny because I think I got some. Do I still? Maybe I don't. she's one of those. There's always great fan art around. I love the color blue. I love what they do with like the water, and like the water wings and like the dress and stuff like that. But she is usually one I kind of forget she's a character, because all the others are just in it so much, and she comes in a lot later. But no, she's a good character. I think they do a lot. I like when they make her funny too, when they because they treat her so seriously, but then when they have some comedic moments with her, like was it Peridot trying to, you know, be nice to her and make a connection, and just everything she does, she just completely turns down, and just the way they shoot her and she delivers the lines, it's very, very funny.
Eccentric Gentleman, thank you for the £2 super chat. Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. Yzma and Kronk got back first because they fell in same drop Cusco and Pacha did, which had gators below them. Maybe it's the same gators from Yzma wrong lever pit. Kronk is still wearing lightning struck pack.
I never noticed that part about the lightning struck back. I think I followed what you said, and yeah, I like just imagining that it just doesn't make sense. I don't want logic to it. It's funny if there is no logic.
Truth, Hope, Love, thank you for the $5 super chat. Checking out Elio.
Yeah, gonna see it tomorrow.
Eccentric Gentleman, thank you for the £2 super chat. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What's your favorite scene from Dude, Where's Your Car?
I've shocker, I've never seen it. The cinematic classic that it is, I have never checked it out. Maybe I should, just to say I've seen it.
DJA, thank you for the $20 super chat. Appreciate that.
Thank
Thank you. YouTube once had quite a number of NC clones. Were there any you genuinely came to enjoy, or any you honestly didn't like? Bonus question, do Kubo and the Two Strings? It's not a question, it's a demand.
Yes. I don't know if I'll do Kubo, because we tried doing Paranorman and the numbers surprisingly weren't that great on it. So I like still doing a stop motion something around Halloween, but I don't know if it'll be Kubo. Kubo is wonderful, by the way. It's a fantastic movie, but yeah, I don't know if I'll do it. And were there any clones that I liked? I mean, as someone who started, like the fake feud with like James Rolfe, because some people are saying, "Oh, you're like the angry video game nerd" and stuff like that. I don't mind somebody taking an idea and kind of going off in a different direction with it, or adding a new spin. I'm sure there's ones that I liked more than others, and ones I didn't like. At top of my head, though, I can't think of them. Even though I make a living on YouTube, I don't watch that many other YouTubers. So yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm sadly not the most knowledgeable about, even though it's apparently a clone of me.
The fifth Chris, thank you for the $5 super chat. Since we never got a Disney summer for Loki, what are your overall thoughts on it? The Fifth of Beethoven montage at the end of season 2 was hysterical.
I still gotta see season 2. I saw season 1. I really liked it. I did not finish season 2. Everyone says it's good. I really should give it a chance. I'm just trying to catch up on so many other things. So yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna see it, but I do want to check it out.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Men in Black, what do you think of the Bug? Do you think he's a good villain?
I like the way he's played, but no, I find him very boring. Once you get the shtick down that he's in the human suit, and again, he's played well, there just need to be more variety to that in terms of the jokes, and he's not that complex or interesting or diabolical or anything. So, once you get past that, which it is impressive, the makeup and everything and the acting is very impressive, but once you get past that, which I did pretty quick, I honestly found them pretty dull. Honestly, most of the villains in the Men in Black movies are surprisingly kind of dull. Like, they look cool, but then when you actually have to get into what they're about and their lines and stuff, they're more. I guess I don't hate him because he's odd, and I like things that are odd, but yeah, none of the villains ever really grabbed me that much.
A Dum Dum, thank you for becoming a member for 5 months over on YouTube. Welcome back. Appreciate that. Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. Got a great idea for an experimental segment vid. You referenced the Sweatbox documentary in New Groove Video. Many films have interesting backstories. Cinema missing, censored cinema, Doug-velopment. Well,
I think I see what you're talking about. You're talking about doing a video series about what a film could have been. Actually, do we have an idea for that? I remember when we were talking about ideas for shows in general, like maybe Walter or Rob or somebody was talking about that.
I don't
So
remember.
there's something there, but obviously we never greenlit it. But yeah, it's interesting. I feel like there's already a lot of videos that do something like that. I don't know if there's like a specifically titled one, but I'm sure there is somewhere on YouTube. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know if I'm the one to do it. I get the feeling there's other people who could do it better than me. But yes, there are a lot of interesting stories, and I love the ones that where it's like almost like a Hail Mary pass. Like in the last third, they had to change them. Like in Frozen, they're like, okay, we gotta make Elsa good. Like that's a big change. Inside Out, we gotta have sadness with joy. That's a big change. Like these Emperor's New Groove. We gotta be a comedy. It's just a straight up comedy. Like I love when they make a change that fast, and it works. It surprisingly works. I think there's always a thought we gotta give the artist complete creative control, or oh, well, you gotta rein them in. The studio always has to chop it down and make a million changes. Like, no, there's something in between, or just sometimes one works, sometimes one doesn't. There's no one clear formula.
Maze, thank you for the $5 super chat. Do you guys know where I can find all your tier lists? Because I'm wanting to see the Disney Renaissance tier list. We talked about putting them up here, and we never did. I still have some of the videos and saved versions of them, but
yeah, maybe bring it up at the next meeting.
Yeah. So nowhere right now, Maze. Oh, bro, thank you for the $5 super chats. Have you seen the new DK Bonanza trailer? I'm excited to see DK's dynamic with Kid Pauline.
No, and I want to after somebody else brought it up, and I just saw some images from. I'm like, oh, this actually looks like really fun just from the still images. So yeah, I will try and check that out.
Maze, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you guys thought about doing a horror film tier list? Since you guys did Christmas films, do you want to see the crew's opinion on mostly Monster House? Yeah, see, the thing is with the tier lists is sometimes we can't have them too broad. Like, you can't just be like, horror
There's
movies.
so many horror
There's
films.
There's too
yeah.
many. Like maybe
animated films. It's
I know, right. I know one of the things I have written down as a possibility is like universal horror monster movies. Like, okay, that would be a specific enough, like universal monster movies. That would be specific enough. But if there's other like genres, I guess, that we could think of for horror, I'm not against it. I just would have to watch a whole bunch of movies because I haven't seen a lot of horror movies. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. The Muppets were on Raw back in 2011.
Interesting. Of course they were.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Amphibia, what do you think of General Yunon and Lady Olivia?
I loved them. I love the team up of the two of them. A very unlikely team up, but that's what was so fun. And I like it. It did kind of organically happen. That's what's so funny about it. It's like, well, this would have to be forced. How on earth would these two actually kind of team up? But it did surprisingly really work out. Yeah, I really like them a great deal. They were the only part of the first season. I tell people, like, if you're gonna watch the show and you don't get into the first episode, just watch these 2 episodes and then jump to season 2. And they're the ones with the 2 of them in it.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Doug, Kiki's Delivery Service is also my all-time favorite. It got me through some tough times.
Yeah, it's close. Spirited Away is still my personal favorite, but Kiki's like really close. We just saw it on the big screen for the first time this year, and it really is a difference. It is. I mean, it looks beautiful either way, but on a big screen, man, those flying scenes are so cool.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And King of the Hill, who is your favorite of Hank's friends?
Probably Dale. Dale's pretty funny.
Big Jack Films, thank you for the $5 super chat. Epic Movie is one of my guilty pleasures. It's like a fan fiction written by a 5-year-old. On the DVD, there's a whole commentary of farts. No joke.
Sounds right. Sounds right. Yeah, man, I will admit, I don't think I've ever found someone that actually liked that movie. So oh, you're the unicorn. Congrats.
SMV, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you ever heard of Ben 10? It had a couple of bad live action movies. Could be funny to make critic videos on.
I know what it is. I hear it's very good. I have not seen it. And I'm sure if I was to review the movies, I'd have to know about the show. And I don't have time to really watch it. But I've heard it's good.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. Dogma isn't the perfect film for a deep... Sorry. I said that wrong. Dogma is the perfect film for a deep dive. It rescreened for its 25th anniversary, and its lack of home media release is due to the fact the Hollywood devil himself, Harvey Weinstein, still holds the rights.
I have a DVD copy of it though. It did come out. Maybe it's just not on Blu-ray or 4K. Um, I've gone back and forth about whether or not to review that because it is a very interesting film to talk about. For me, I don't think it quite works, but I do like it gets the conversation going for a lot of young people to talk about religion and what it means to them. I mean, particularly Catholicism, Christianity. So yeah, I it's interesting on that level. Do I think it works? No, big shock. I think it gets too preachy. but but yeah, I've gone back and forth. There's just always the thought of like, all right, well, religion's a very sensitive topic. If you're not gonna just make jokes about it, you gotta talk about legit. Like, can this work? Can it not? I haven't really done that as the NC, so I don't know. I've gone back and forth on it.
Freaky, thank you for the 119 NOK through Super Chat. Hey Doug, have you ever considered taking another look at Spider-Man the animated series now that it is finally coming to a proper conclusion after 31 years?
Oh, did they not wrap it up in the original? Okay, interesting. Um, I for Fox Kids, I tried watching it again, and I'm just like, no, it's still not doing it for me. I get why other people like it. But everything is just way too quick, way too. It just feels like it's on fast forward. Like, you ever watch a video on YouTube or something, you play it at double speed. It feels like that, and so I just can't get invested in anything that's going on. And some of the jokes are lame.
A lover of cinema, thank you for the 500 bits. Earlier this month, I found out on your wife's IMBD page that you two have been married since June 15th of 2012. If this is true, then I hope you and your wife had a nice 13th anniversary. Here's to many more years of happiness.
Yeah, and we had it was on the weekend of the 13th too. Thank God it went fine. Nothing went wrong, but yeah, no, we're still pretty happy. Still pretty happy.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Speaking of Spider-Man the animated series, it's getting a sequel comic book called Spider-Man 94.
Oh, I thought it was getting like a show.
No, it's
reboot.
getting a comic.
Oh, okay. I bet it flows better as a comic.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Spider-Man 2, what do you think of the scene where Doc Ock redeems himself?
It's good. I like more the scene. I like when he said, what was it? Smart but lazy. I love the way he says that line there. It just feels so real. And like he just sort of sees him like, everything's just crazy and he zapped out a thing like he's kind of coming to his senses. He's like, oh, Peter's Spider-Man. That's funny. He just kind of has that like in the midst of all this chaos. It felt like a very real scene. Everything else is very it's fine. It's very like classic monster movie. No, you'll work for me. I won't die a monster, which is fine. That stuff's fun. But yeah, in terms of like, did I emotionally feel something? Not really. But yeah, but I enjoy kind of the hamminess of it.
Sean, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hats Off Entertainment just did an almost cult classic on Rocket Man with Harland Williams. I gave it to my stepsister and she hated it so much that she wanted to run the DVD over with her car.
Well, I didn't think it was that bad. I just saw it last year and it's not good. I really like that guy. But you have to leave him to his own devices. You have to just let him do what he does. And I don't think that movie knew what to do with him. So there are some scenes that are funny, but it doesn't work.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. And Kiki's Delivery Service, what do you think of the scene where she loses her powers?
Oh, I like it. It definitely, I feel like a lot of people nowadays are relating more and more with like burnout and overdoing stuff and everything. Especially like after COVID too, where like the whole world got sick, and are still some are recovering. So yeah, I think that stuff is pretty relatable. And I like she gets sick and then she starts to lose the powers. You don't know if they're connected or not. I can very much relate. But yeah, it's one of those things where every time I watch it, it gets to a point in the movie where I kind of forget what happens. And it's always around the point where she starts to get sick. And I always like not exactly knowing it was that connected or not, and there is kind of like a I want to say almost like a dreamlike quality of like you're kind of half awake, half asleep at that point, but it's kind of supposed to be like you're supposed to kind of be half into it and half kind of spacing out, and then at the end suddenly everything comes back, with the urgency and everything. Like sometimes the answer is just go for a walk, hang with a friend, just do something else, and I like that. I like it's. I used to not like that part of the movie, but when I watched it again on the big screen, I'm like, yeah, I'm connecting with this a little bit more.
Strider for Life, thank you for the 500 bits. I learned that in the original books, Peter Pan was a villain. Since they made a horror movie about Winnie the Pooh and Mickey, they should make one about book accurate Pan.
They did. It's called Once Upon a Time. Um, I haven't seen that show, but Rob has told me about it. He showed me a picture of just the person playing Pan. I'm like, good lord. That I've never seen the show, but I want to just to see that. But yeah, I don't know if I say he's a villain, but he's definitely an unattended boy.
Yeah.
And they say, like he talks about killing lost boys and stuff like that. It's like, well, does he or does he not? Like everything's kind of debatable, which I like. I think is clever. So you can accept either one. Like, no, he really does need control. He's killing people, or it could just be that's just his game. In which case, he still needs control.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. While I enjoy Sky High, it has always bothered me that they have both Bruce Campbell and Kurt Russell, and they don't have any screen time together.
Do they? Oh, maybe you're right. Yeah, even at like the prom, you're right. I don't think they do. That is bizarre.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. After rewatching Whispers of the Heart, I can tell that the book that girl wrote was The Cat Returns with the Baron.
Yes, I always thought that was a very clever spin-off for a movie. And what I like is you can watch that movie without seeing Whispers of the Heart and follow it totally fine.
King Croker, thank you for that 60-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate that. Doug, who is your ideal casting choice for the Nostalgia Critic in the mediums of movies, television, and animation? They can be the same or all different. How about for Bum or Devil Boner?
The only one I can think of, if you did animation, you had to get Jason Alexander. I feel like I've been imitating his voice, screaming and yelling and stuff like that, particularly as Duckman, if you've ever seen that. That'd be the one that pop in my head. The others, I don't know. I haven't thought about that much.
Big Jack Films, thank you for the $5 super chat. The fights in Zorro were done by the legendary Bob Anderson. Every famous sword fight he did, Star Wars, Princess Bride, Lord of the Rings, look him up.
I read the Carrie Elway's book about making Princess Bride, so I remember him talking about all of that. And if you're a fan of him, you should probably read that book because there is a lot dedicated to the sword fighting in there, and it's very, very interesting. Well, some of it I actually mentioned in the review, but yeah, if you haven't read that book, check it out. It's a good book overall.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen the John Wick spinoff Ballerina yet? And if so, thoughts?
I haven't even seen the one before it. Yeah, so I should because I still like the John Wick's movies. They were just getting so long, and there's just so many of them now. Or I'm just like, oh, sheesh, okay, like there's another one, but they are good. They're very impressive movies. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you could just stop at 3. But I know that it's like Fast and Furious, just how bigger and crazier can they get and everything. But yeah, I don't know. I'll watch them at some point, but like I said, I kind of checked out after 3.
CCLA, thank you for the $5 super chat. What's a movie your dad likes you would review? And what's your favorite Disney December video you've done so far?
My favorite Disney December one? I do kind of like the ones where I'll talk about something that has quote unquote controversy around it. They're usually not, honestly. It's just people getting upset over something that doesn't matter. And I like trying to point that out, like, come on, we're the internet. It's like we've grown up with much tougher stuff than this. And I feel like, people would just lose their crap over just the dumbest things. But that's also the internet too, isn't it? That's a cliche. And yeah, so something like, I don't know, like Acolyte maybe, or like, did I do? No, I guess I didn't do Little Mermaid. I know there were other. Oh, actually, just about anything Star Wars related. The more I think about it, all Star Wars, all of it. And then for the other one, was it a movie my
Your
dad
dad
likes
likes that you would review.
that I would review? Well, he does technically like Lost in Space and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but he likes them because they're so bad. So I did review those.
Maze, thank you for the $5 super chat. This is part one. My mom works at a daycare and told me one of the toddlers there put on Spider Man 3, and I couldn't stop laughing.
Interesting.
Maze, thank you for the $5 super chat, and this is part two. My mom doesn't like McGuire and went on about how his dance meme was the stupidest thing ever, and I laughed so much, yet I love Spider Man 3.
I mean, honestly, between the three movies, I probably watched two first, and then I probably watched three and then one. One's a better movie, but I think it's kind of dull, and just some of it's so corny, and I am just not that interested. Where three, at least there's some twists and turns. At least when it goes bad, it just goes so bad, like so insanely bad. That's pretty entertaining. So yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know if that answers it at all, but that's my answer, and I'm sticking to it.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What's your favorite scene in Jaws? And did you get a jump scare when Hopper finds the shark tooth?
Weirdly, no. And everyone says that's like one of the great jump scares of all time. I don't know why it didn't. But like it's good, it's well done. But in terms of my favorite scene, man, I don't know. I don't know why it really surprised me when a certain character dies. Well, okay, on the boat. I think there's only one.
You
character
can
dies.
spoil Jaws. It's almost 50 years old.
Yeah, but still, if you haven't seen, I mean, that means people might go to check it out if they haven't seen it because it's the big anniversary or whatever. But one of the character that dies on the boat at the end, I was legit really surprised by, and I don't know why. I guess everything's pointing to he's gonna die, but I think I was younger, and they just made him so interesting, and like his history was so interesting and tragic and stuff like that. I just really didn't think they were gonna kill him off. So that was really surprising to me, and I really was like, "Holy smokes!" Like that's really sad. Even though he could be an a-hole too. But yeah, I'm not saying that's the best scene or anything. I mean, the best scene is probably him giving the backstory, on the boat. But that was a scene that really stuck with me.
James, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, please explain to me how it makes sense for the Academy Awards to give an honorary Oscar for Dolly Parton and Tom Cruise before Dick Van Dyke.
I mean, I guess Dolly Parton's been in a few movies.
Yeah, she has.
Yeah, and I agree, though. I mean, Dick Van Dyke would be like, imagine him going up on, say, at his age and everything. I mean, people would give a standing ovation. I mean, he could literally do anything, and people would be like, "Oh my god," So, yeah, I think it's a fair point. But Dolly Parton's pretty. That is so. I love Dolly Parton. That's where she's getting an honorary Oscar, though. Tom Cruise, I can kind of see because he's still doing stuff. He's throwing his all into it. But Dolly Parton's only been like a handful of movies. That is a little odd.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What's your favorite scene in the 1990 Ninja Turtles movie since you're wearing a turtle shirt?
Man, I don't know. Maybe just the last fight with Shredder. I still every once in a while quote the line. Now, exactly what point did we lose control here? Maybe someone should tell him we're the good guy. Like we still quote that line. But yeah, just the whole fight there, I thought was pretty cool.
Brady, thank you for the $10 super chat. Most anime goes story, 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 filler, 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 story, filler, 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 story, filler, 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 story, the end.
Maybe a hint more story, but you're not that far off.
Dibble is gold, thank you for the 500 bits. I worked at Blockbuster when all these bad parody movies came out. I tried my best to save people $5. Anything you would have said to save them?
No, they have to learn somehow.
They got what they deserved. No, I'm just kidding. Haunted Joker, thank you for that 17-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate that. Big Jack Films, thank you for the $5 super chat. My friends and I are still working on a Suburban Nights sequel. Just curious, what would be one thing you'd want to see that didn't make the first quest?
I don't know, man. Most of it I got in. I don't know. I'd have to go like far, far back to think about it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm so sorry. It's been a really long time.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think about Jaws 4 when Michael Caine goes, shoot, YouTube
Hmm.
censorship? Does it still
Yeah.
make you laugh?
Oh yeah, that's hilarious. That's probably the one intentionally funny moment that is really funny.
Ryan, thank you for becoming a member for 3 months in a row over on YouTube.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we have like 5 minutes here for
Nice. Okay.
some chat
See,
questions here.
it happens. It
Hooray!
happens.
Yay! Um, Chris over on YouTube says, suggestion, if I told you Disney made a surprisingly well-written animated Sailor Moon ripoff series in 2004, would you want to watch it? It's Witch, Witch. Like
Is
it's
there
an
a
acronym.
period?
Yep, yep.
Okay,
Mhm,
I think I
mhm.
recall seeing the. Yeah, it's spelled out. I mean, I'm not even a big fan of Sailor Moon in general, so I don't know what I would think of the spinoff or ripoff, whatever. It probably wouldn't be my thing, but who knows? Could be good.
Sean49 Doctor over on Twitch says, Doug, all these years doing theme months, and you still haven't done the Police Academy movies? Those films and the animated series deserve a serious critique from you, okay?
Man, I don't know how I would even squeeze out. What they make like 7 movies, and then yeah, a cartoon as well. Oh, there was even a live action series at one point. I
Yeah.
remember that very briefly. Um, yeah, I think it'd just be too much.
Eccentric Gentleman, thank you for the £2 super chat. $1 Million Mystery for NC. It's a unique film.
Oh, I thought you were just saying $1 million mystery, and then you were gonna say what it was. No, I've never even heard of it. I'll try and check it out.
Brian over on YouTube would like a hint for next week's review.
Um, I mean, people can probably do the math because I asked it a while ago on Facebook. It's another commercial special. It's the international commercial special.
Hooray! Ramirez over on Twitch says, are you up for any review requests? Because I got one. Pinocchio in Outer Space. After seeing Walter's review, I don't know what to say.
I think you can watch it right now on YouTube. I haven't checked it out yet. He's just been talking about it. Like you just gotta see. You've never seen anything so bonkers in your life. Like he was trying to describe it, but he couldn't. He both could and couldn't. So I'll definitely watch it because, like I said, I think it is free on YouTube. Because I am very curious about it. But yeah, we'll see if I do a review of it.
And a plug since we've mentioned it a couple of times. If
That's
you
true.
haven't been watching Juniversal on the Channel Awesome YouTube channel, that is Walter's series that he's got going on every day in June, reviewing a different Universal movie. Today was Blues Brothers. It was very fun, really good. Also, like Ramirez said, Pinocchio in Outer Space, a lot of the classic Universal monster movies. Go check them out. Walter put a lot of time.
We're in Kong versus Godzilla. We make a cameo in there.
Yes. Walter put a lot of time into these. Go check them out. Okay,
and they're very well put together. He really does a lot of research on them. He makes them interesting. I don't know. He balances a whole bunch of stuff that's really interesting in them. I mean, he's very talented, and yeah, they're very well put together.
Eccentric Gentleman, thank you for the £2 super chat. Blinkman for NC. It changed the way I see heroes.
It's not that bad a movie. What would I add to it though? I don't know. And would anyone click on it? I don't know. I'd probably do Meteor Man first, because I haven't seen that one. But I do remember liking Blank Man. Yeah, we'll see.
Batfan over on YouTube asks, oh, I just lost it. Where did it go? Sorry. Thoughts on Ordinary People? And would you consider doing a Tarantino tier list? I do have Tarantino movies as an option on the tier list as well.
Interesting. Ordinary People's very good. It's another one of those where looking up the making of it, or like the direction I went into, telling some of the for the performances and stuff like that is very good. If you want to see the original Good Will Hunting, I mean that is essentially what it is. But it's funny because I kept trying to get my wife to, because she's a therapist, and the big focus about is this kid seeing a therapist, and I said, oh, it's so good, it's such a great psychological study and everything. And I guess I don't want to give away the ending, but it's not the saddest, but it's not the happiest ending either. And when she got to the end, she was like, "Why'd you show me that? I was so sad." I was like, "Oh
Aw.
yeah, I forgot it ends that way." She's like, "I got enough of this at work." So it is very, very good though.
Matt, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Heather and Doug, hope your week's going well. Nice effing model. Honk, honk. I'll go stand in the corner.
Yep, that's how it went when I quoted to my grandma.
Master Mario over on Twitch says, it's my 34th birthday tomorrow. Of course, you would already know that because you're my friend, right? So what did you get me? Or was it the epic movie review?
Happy early birthday, epic movie set.
Too bad Waluigi time. Thank you for the £2 super chat. In your school days, did you ever cheat on a test?
Oh yeah. But here's, I was not a good student. I had really bad time focusing. I just didn't. So I didn't like high school. I didn't see the point of it. I skipped class a lot. I was good at it. I was really good at forging signatures. I was really good at sneaking out and knowing when to change clothes if I go around the corner, like get a different jacket on or something like that. Like I was very, very good at it. And where's I going with this? Oh, did I cheat?
Yeah.
So a lot of the time, if you were to look at the little cheat notes I had, you wouldn't even recognize it as cheating. It was just little letters on there. I didn't have to put in the whole word because, like, I'd read the word, I'd read it over and over, but then just something would get jumbled in my head. So I just have like the beginning letter of the word on there, and then an arrow to like another beginning of a letter. Like I just need little reminders. So in my opinion, that's not totally cheating, but yes, but I was all no. But here's the thing too, I did get test anxiety. I know it sounds like a cheap excuse, but I really did. My brain would just panic, and I didn't have a very good memory. So I'm one of the few kids that would do all the homework because I knew I was going to bomb the test, even if I studied really hard. You know, like that Simpsons episode, Bart gets an F. That's why I really relate to that episode. So yes, I did, but it really was out of necessity. My brain really could not remember a lot of this stuff, no matter how hard I studied. So, and it was hard for me to figure out what was the important stuff too. Real quick, because I know we're running out of time. One college professor gave the best extra credit question I ever heard on a test. She said, anything that is not covered on the test, but you remember, write it down, you'll get a point. That I could do, because I didn't know what the important stuff was, but it was jumbled with stuff I did study, but I just couldn't remember like the order or what was the important stuff, so I would just write down all this stuff. I ended up passing. If I didn't do that, I probably would have, failed the test or gotten a D or something. So, yes, I'm not saying you should. I'm saying for me, a lot of the time, it was almost like a necessity.
We're probably gonna have to speed run some of these because we had 4 questions that rolled.
Oh,
in.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I know a guy. Thank you for that 16-month subscription over on YouTube, or membership, sorry, over on YouTube. Welcome back. Appreciate that. Will you watch F1 when it comes out on June 27th?
Probably not. I'm not gonna have time.
Thomas, thank you for the $7 super chat. How about reviewing a Beatles movie like A Hard Day's Night or Yellow Submarine?
Yeah, that's good with copyrighted music in there and getting claims and stuff. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Doug, what other shows of Nick would you like to do a review of from the 90s?
I mean, I think I did all the ones I grew up with.
Deadshot, thank you for the $5 super chat. As you are playing RE2, they just announced Resident Evil 9. Now I feel like you have to play all the games, including 5 and 6, with Heather playing with you.
I mean, I guess I just gotta.
Oh, darn. Oh, well. All right, that's it then. Thank you everyone so much as usual for joining us here today. We super appreciate it. We will be back on Thursday and Friday. Although we'll talk more about this on Friday, but after Friday's Resident Evil stream, we're gonna have to do a little bit of schedule manipulation because there's a whole bunch of Fridays all in a row where Doug just can't make it because of conventions and 4th of July and other things happening in life. So Tune in on Friday and we'll tell you more about the schedule. But
I did make a post on my Facebook for that. I'll probably make a few more as well. But yes, we will also say on Friday the dates.
yes, so there is makeup streams, so don't worry. You're just not going to have no Doug gameplay for a month, okay? So come back on Friday. Malcolm will be on Twitch on tomorrow on Thursday. But yeah, have a wonderful evening, everyone, and we will see you all later.
Bye bye.